NerdWerkz presents Trevor Keller.
Do it, you racist son of a bitch.
Dave Thomas.
Plowing his girlfriend on the kitchen table.
Greg Burke.
I am totally addicted to watching fighting games on Twitch TV now. It's really bad.
The Next Level. Episode 10. Microsoft Press Conference.
Welcome everyone to episode 10 of The Next Level. I'm your host Greg Burke. With me as always are my gaming enthusiast friends Trevor Keller.
Hey.
And Dave Thomas.
Why do you always introduce him first?
Because he's a little guy.
Sorry, I've decided that from now on in all the podcasts, I'm going to go ahead and say as much as I can to throw you off when you're trying to do your introduction.
It's just because I'm a better person.
There's always one. There's always one at the theater. There's always one at a birthday party. And Dave's that guy. The guy whose cell phone rings in the theater, who makes that awkward conversation at a party.
Sorry.
Oh, God. All right, so...
Guys, we made it to double digits. We're in 10.
We're in 10. Yay. And,
double digits.
Gosh.
And I don't know when this will go up because episode 9 is still rejected because my channel is under, like, surveillance or something or whatever.
Do you guys think our viewers are in the double digits yet?
Oh, maybe. God,
Yeah,
I
no.
hope so.
You guys, one of these have, like, 400 hits. Our
Cross our
first one has 400 hits.
Yes!
Which is, like, nothing, but still. Anyway, all
Yeah,
right.
hey, you know what? 400 is still more than,
Wow.
than 399.
Must have been accidental clicks.
So,
Happens.
It's because our podcasts are tagged with puppy loves kitten loves mouse.
Just we got to name each podcast XXX.
boobs.
And what we're talking about.
Amen to that.
All right, well, you guys, E3 was last week.
Oh, man, I wish I was there.
I invited you, but I know it's always last minute with me with those types of things. You know that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Trevor, you got to go last year with me. The year before last.
I did. Yeah, the year before.
And that was a pretty fun thing. Fortunately, if you watch my exclusive coverage for it on my
Riveting
channel,
coverage.
it was pretty horrible because I was working the entire time. I didn't have time. I didn't even step 1 foot onto the floor. Not one foot. It was really bad.
That's awful.
But I made money, so I'm happy. But that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I want to talk about specifically the Microsoft press conference. So, we'll start with you, Trev. What did you like best about the Microsoft press conference?
2 parts. I loved that they didn't shove Kinect down our throat.
Yeah, I think they learned from
And-
last year.
Yeah, I was really happy about that. But I think I mentioned it before on past shows that I am a huge Splinter Cell fan. So I was thoroughly excited to see Splinter Cell Blacklist.
Oh, man.
Yes.
It looks so awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty badass looking. One kind of complaint though, they don't have Michael Ironside as the voice of Sam Fisher anymore. So I'm kind of bummed about that because he is Sam Fisher.
Now,
So,
I have to make an observation before we continue.
no, moving on.
Wow. Shut down.
He's doing it again. He's doing the thing. He's going to throw us off. Watch. He's going to be like, I don't like waffles. Do you like waffles, Trevor?
This is not going to throw us off. No, it seems like this new Splinter Cell has become more technologically advanced, almost a little sci-fi, which I'm okay with. I'm a big fan of that kind of stuff. But in the future, have they found a way to reverse the aging process? Because in the videos, he looks so young. He's supposed to be like an old grizzled veteran, and he looks like he's like in his late 20s.
Yeah, I'm sure in another Splinter, like a future Splinter Cell, we'll find out that he's just like one of many clones.
Right?
But yeah, I totally agree. He's in the first Splinter Cell, he's like this 60-year-old guy coming out of retirement, and now he looks like a 30-year-old straight out of CIA boot camp.
He just gets younger and younger with each of these games because we want him to be a badass. I'm sure that's the reason that.
Well, yeah, he's definitely a badass in this game. They, if you didn't play the last Splinter Cell Conviction, spoiler alert, at the end of Conviction, basically Third Echelon, which is who Sam Fisher was a part of for so many years, Third Echelon is no more. They turned out to be dicks trying to kill the president, so naturally the president has disbanded Third Echelon. They are no more. In this game now, Sam Fisher is leading the very creative fourth echelon. That was very creative on their part. So Sam is leading the charge of fourth echelon. Fourth echelon answers directly to the president, and basically, from what we can gather from the cinematic and stuff, there's I guess. Let me just read it from their website. The United States has a military presence in 2/3 of the countries around the world. A group of 12 have had enough and initiate a terror ultimatum called the Blacklist, which is a deadly countdown of escalating terrorist attacks on U.S. interests. So basically, Sam has to travel around and beat the ever-living crap out of these terrorist groups.
Yay!
Yeah. So one thing I'm really excited about, from what I saw from the gameplay from E3, is that in Conviction, they introduced this mark and execute system where you can, when you perform a close combat kill, you get what are called marks. And you can now mark targets and then press a button and instantly kill those marks. Well, now in Blacklist, you can move and execute. So they're calling it kill in motion. So now, when I mark my targets, I can move swiftly through the level while simultaneously executing my targets to ultimately get to my goal. So in Conviction, you kind of had to stop, and it kind of went into bullet time, and you slowly executed everyone. Well, now they're making it more fluid, a little more cinematic, more badass, basically.
True. We talked about this like yesterday, where you talked about like that seemed to be a theme this year. Was like flawless, fluid gameplay where you don't stop and just keep moving.
Yeah, that seems to be where games are heading. Like they're trying to shove more action, get the game moving. It's almost like they don't want you to stop and think. They just want you to keep playing. So I'm really excited about that. This is speculation, but from the cinematic, we saw some pretty cool. I guess what I'm calling them is like different kills you can perform. In the cinematic, it shows Sam zipline upside down to a window, and he pulls the pin out of a grenade and throws the guy out the window, where he ultimately explodes, and then he executes people while hanging upside down. So I'm sure we can expect some pretty badass new ways of executing your enemies. We saw new gadgets. He's got some kind of cool little, it's like a new spy cam. It's like this little robot that you can control and move around, so you'll have a mobile spy cam. But it's just looking like a really badass game, and I'm really excited. I love the Splinter Cell games, and I can't wait to get my hands on this. Did you guys saw it, obviously?
Yeah, I mean, I've never played any of the Splinter Cell games because I'm not really big like spy fan, like spy game. You know what I mean? Because like
stealth action.
He likes the run and gun, not the sneak and
well, funny enough,
assassinate.
That's kind of the direction that Splinter Cell is. In the beginning, Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow, Chaos Theory, they're all about stealth. Like, if you were seen, chances are you're going to get your ass kicked.
Yep.
But with, I think even Double Agent was kind of, well, no, Double Agent kind of, they gave you some power to, they put you in the daylight, so you kind of had to fight here and there. But especially with Conviction, the game designers were talking about, they wanted Sam to be more of a predator rather than, this shadowy, like just sneaky guy. They wanted him to be more badass, and so you could literally play Conviction just running and gunning if you wanted to, and that seems to be what they're implementing also in Blacklist with the kill in motion. So it's kind of giving you more of a, do I want to play sneaky or do I want to run and gun? So Greg, you if you don't like to sneak around, you absolutely could run and gun in this game.
No, it's not that the games are bad. I don't think any of the games are bad. It's just that like
I
think it's because whenever I turn, like Tom Clancy is either crapping out another book or crapping out another game, and so like, and when stuff has a turnaround that quick, because I remember once a year, I think twice in 1 year they came out with two Clancy. There's the Rainbow Six, and then there's Splinter Cell, and they have like another one.
You got to think of all the franchise. They got Rainbow Six,
and it was just they slapped the Tom Clancy name on there, and actually deterred me because I'm like, man, like, games that come out this fast usually aren't good, but they're okay. I played Rainbow Six with you guys. They're a lot different than what you're used to, which is cool. But I played it. Wasn't really my cup of tea. But I want to know what did you dislike about the press conference the most, Trev?
Everything else. It's just that nothing really got me excited. like we'll talk about later on in the show, the Xbox Smart Glass I liked, but everything else besides Splinter Cell, I kind of just was like, ooh, another Madden, another Call of Duty. I guess the same can be said for Splinter Cell, but I mean,
You're biased.
You're biased, yeah.
Yeah. So, nothing really got me excited. So the whole overall show was kind of just, blah. So I mean, the show itself, that's what I hated.
Yeah. Dave, what about you? What did you like about the show?
Well, I actually I'm sort of on the opposite spectrum. I'm noticing the more we podcast that I'm an optimist on this stuff. I saw a lot of good things in this. Halo 4 is exciting. The new Splinter Cell is exciting. The Gears of War prequel, oh man, super awesome. Like there was a lot of good stuff. But the one thing that I disliked the most was the fact that the people that they had doing the introductions were programmers. Now I understand you want to put your best foot forward with people who know the program, people who developed it and everything. But couldn't they have found someone who looks less like a computer geek? Who speaks less than like a computer geek? I mean, someone who's a little more outgoing. Come on, like a little bit.
Dave,
just a little bit. A little showmanship. That's all I ask.
I don't know. I'm more prone to believe a programmer coming out on stage than some booth babe. I mean, yeah, sure, one's eye candy, but
not if he's speaking to me like this.
If
If he's having an issue saying what he wants to say, it makes me feel like he's trying too hard. There were a handful of them that were Will Shatnering it up there. It was really awkward sounding, but
it's a press conference. You're not watching Broadway or anything. So
you know what? I demand Broadway. They are on a stage. They are on a stage.
I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised you guys didn't say the Usher thing. That was I hated the Usher part of the press conference. Like, that was stupid.
I would like to say that I didn't dislike it because I didn't watch it. I fast forwarded right through it. They started talking about Usher, and I was like, oh, okay, right trigger on my controller.
I was just like, what does this have to do with video games? Why is Usher dancing? This is stupid. I mean, I understand he's promoting Just Dance, but it was dumb. I hated that, the press conference. This is my most hated thing of that. I'd rather watch Connect than watch Usher be like, look at my dance moves. I'm Usher. And I'm just like,
Well, technically, you were watching.
Yeah, you were watching him do the new dance moves from the new Dance Central 3. So I think that was the whole point. But what I'm most excited for is Halo 4. You guys have heard me geek out about Halo and everything before, and I'm sort of our resident Halo fan. But I'm really excited. When I heard originally that they were reopening the Master Chief to a new trilogy, I was a little bummed because I felt that the original trilogy really closed the story well in sort of a traditional sense. He started off by waking up in this cryo tube. Went through 3 full games, really had a lot of character development, and then closed it. He went back into the cryotube and told Cortana, call me when you need me, I'll be here. I thought that was really epic. That seemed like such a heroic ending to a great series. So I was really happy with it, despite the fact that it saddened me that Halo was done. And then they said Halo 4 was coming out, and I went, oh, crap. They're doing what they did with ODST and Halo Reach. They're stretching a finished product. They're overreaching, and it's going to hurt the franchise in the long run. But what I can see, it looks cool. The graphics are great. You see, I watched the trailer on from E3, and it shows you what I think and what people are sort of leading to are the Forerunners. The creatures that he fights are called the Prometheans, and they are a Forerunner class, but they don't get a whole lot into detail. For some reason, they allude to the fact that the Covenant is no longer our allies. We don't know what's happened there, but I'm excited to find out. But it looks like they've got a whole new storyline based on the Forerunners, which is something they've always alluded to. The Forerunners are the creators of the Halos and everything, and the creators of this advanced set of technology, and so they're going to delve a little deeper into that. And something else that I really was excited for was the multiplayer. That's sort of been a point of contention for a lot of people. Either you love or you hate the multiplayer on Halo 4, because either you spend all your time playing it and you're good, or you play it casually and you get your ass whooped by kids who have no jobs.
See, the thing is, I hated about Halo, and like I guess it's the same for every game, but it was more, I guess, more prominent in Halo, is that like every online match was the same thing. It was grenade, shoot, hit. Grenade, shoot, hit, and that's all you did. I mean, occasionally you get a really good sniper who just one-shot everyone, but that's basically what's the whole gameplay. And I never got good at it, or I just never liked it. So I was like, and I kind of never got into it. Not that it's a bad game. I mean, Halo's
but
super fun game.
the multiplayer can be very repetitive. And again, like many multiplayers, if you don't spend a lot of time, if you don't dedicate a lot of energy to getting good, you'll always get your butt kicked by the people that do. But actually, there's a new set of gameplay that I'm really excited about. It's Spartan Ops, and this is supposed to be a series that actually it actually takes the information from the games that you play, and it allows you to evolve the Halo world. The way it works is each week they're going to release a new episode, finger quotes, and in each of these episodes you're going to get to play a new mission, and that mission will evolve and the story will evolve based on how people play it. So that's something that I really am looking forward to. I'm a big fan of co-op players and stuff like that, co-op games. So it should allow you to invite your friends to play with you. There's different ways to complete each of these chapters, and as people complete them, it will sort of evolve how this story plays out. And I like that idea. I like the ability that the players will help get to develop the storyline in this Halo world. And there are also campaign missions that reflect the this new Spartan Ops multiplayer game. It makes mention of them and reference to them several times, and I don't really know how in depth it gets, but yeah, that's something I'm very excited for is this new Spartan Ops ability.
Now the thing is, what I'm curious about, because I saw the gameplay and the trailer, Cortana says that she was only meant to last 4 years, and it's been 7.
Yeah, they're supposed to last 7 years, and then they just start to deteriorate.
Okay.
She's lasted 8.
So is she gonna go crazy and like try to kill everybody?
Yeah, pretty much. I have a feeling she'll be like the next.
You get a glimpse of that in the trailer. She kind of freaks out.
Yeah, she shouts something about, I'm not going to let you off this planet. So we may see Cortana go rogue and lose her mind and become an enemy of John 117, be the enemy of the Master Chief. So.
It's not much of a boss battle, though, because, all you have to do is hit the power switch, right?
All you have to do is unplug her and she's done, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's really, anticlimactic.
Didn't she, wasn't a Covenant ship, and, she couldn't do anything and we had to rescue her? I remember that was, Halo 2, right?
I believe that was Halo 2.
Okay, thank you. I have played them.
But yeah, it's got a lot of good stuff. They've created a whole new enemy race, so that's exciting. I'm glad it's not just the Covenant. The Covenant was the first 3 Halos. I'm glad they've come up with something different. But yeah, it looks interesting. It looks like man has decided to advance itself by exploring the galaxy in a peaceful manner, and then they basically just got screwed over by this new Forerunner race that they've created. So
that'll teach them.
Yeah, that'll teach us to go out in a manner of peace. We should be equipped for war.
Yeah, kill anything that moves.
That's right. That's right.
That's the human way.
So yeah, so we're looking to see this release November 6th, and I could not be any more excited.
I need to backtrack just a little bit.
Okay.
I'm really excited that Splinter Cell is bringing back the ability to distract your enemies with your voice.
Ooh, yes, using the Kinect sensor, right?
Yes, back in Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow, they implemented back when the Xbox had white and black buttons.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could push the white button.
It was the white button,
and you would whistle or make some kind of noise in the game, which would distract the guards, and they would come towards you, and you'd be able to kill them. Yeah, exactly. Well, now they're implementing the Kinect with the game, so now as I'm playing, I can just say something to the TV, and I'm sure I have to push a button first, but it'll do the same thing. It'll distract the guards. And also they showed in the gameplay footage where you're kind of pinned down by this 50 caliber on the back of a truck, and you tell Grim, who is your
handler.
Yeah, exactly. She's she's got like a UAV with missiles or something like that, and you're basically targeting the 50 cal, and while playing the game, you use your voice to tell her when to fire the missile, which I thought was pretty sweet, and it
That is pretty cool.
really involves you in the gameplay. So sorry, I just had to.
No, also
I forgot to mention
Now we're
that.
off
It
track,
was
and now
really-
we're all timing screwed up.
I know.
Things. That's great.
I know.
Just
no,
okay.
actually, I actually have a Splinter Cell thing to mention that I meant to mention while you were talking. I've also heard mention of a spy versus mercenaries again being brought back in this new game. So,
Oh.
yeah, it was a little tiny blurb. I actually had to rewind it when I was watching the video. They were doing an interview with one of the guys in charge, and yeah, they made mention of us. They're bringing back spy versus mercenary. So yay! The thing I loved most about playing Splinter Cell is coming
Very
back.
cool.
Yeah, so very exciting. Anyways,
Okay.
back
Sorry.
to no, it's all right. Back to
Sorry,
back to
I love
Halo.
Splinter Cell.
You've got a one-track mind.
I do. Hey, you guys want to talk about Splinter Cell?
No,
Okay, sorry.
we're done.
Go
We're
ahead.
done with that segment. But yeah, Halo 4 out in November. We're very excited. Right after my birthday, I cannot wait. Greg, what about you, man? What's your favorite thing about the press release?
I was seriously blown away with the smart glass panel.
Oh God.
Because it was like, this is what the Wii's doing, and like, but you have to have like the Wii tablet and the Wii U, and like this thing's gonna work with like any tablet or phone. That's amazing.
Pretty cool.
Like universally, like it just the functionality that you can use with any tablet, and even like they're even like programming it for the iOS, because I have like nothing but Macs in my house, and I'm just like psyched. I'm like, oh my god, I can actually do it with an iPad. And
Well, we'll break it down for the listeners.
okay,
If
so
they
basically
watch
they're trying to integrate to make your tablets feel you more adverse in the game. And like, so basically, like an example would be like you're playing Halo 4, right? And like while you're playing, the stuff's happening. Like your iPad will be connected or your tablet will be connected to the Xbox, and it'll like stuff will come up like an interface, like to tell you about like the ship you're protecting, or like the level that you're going to, or like the enemy you're fighting. And it's like, it's super, I think that's super cool, because it just immerses you more into the gaming experience, you know? And like eventually what they want to do is stuff like when you're playing like a game like, say, Call of Duty. I don't know if they'll do this, but just an example. Like you're playing Call of Duty, instead of looking at like your map in the left-hand corner, that will be gone, and your map will be on your lap on your iPad. You know, and you'll get to see it like in full, like 10 inches. You get to see everything around you. That is so cool to me. Like, I just think that's amazing, and it's stuff that like the Wii U's doing now that like this could actually like probably destroy the Wii U if they do it right. You know what I mean? Because it'll be integrated gaming. I think it's so cool. And then the fact that you can even cloud gaming now, which is becoming this huge thing. You can cloud game. Like imagine leaving your house with your iPad, with your Xbox on, in the car, like you said, Trev, playing Call of Duty with your Bluetooth controller, because you can play it over 4G LTE and you're fine. It's just amazing to me. That's freaking amazing.
That's why I'm excited about the smart glass, because the potential it has to go there is really exciting. And,
Well,
and
now
that's the future of gaming if you think about it. Like this soon. I mean, I think me and Greg have talked about this. Like soon, you know, you probably won't even have to buy a disc anymore. It'll just be a download or a cloud based.
Well, let's be honest. Greg, the examples you gave are the potential for this new program. As it is right now, what they've just got is integrated music and integrated video and that sort of thing, which is it's very cool in theory. I heard them talking about how if you're watching Game of Thrones, which I'm a huge fan of, I've watched it up to the second season and can't wait for the new season to start. Once they have it integrated, you can watch Game of Thrones on HBO Plus or I'm sorry, what's the program? HBO
Go. Habogo.
HBO Go. Thank you. Habogo. You can watch Game of Thrones on HBO Go, and you can have your phone or your tablet opened up and connected to that, and it actually shows you in real time while you're watching the episode exactly where all the different characters are on the map of Game of Thrones, and you can actually see what they're doing while the show is playing.
Yeah.
That's pretty badass. That's a real immersion thing. But as for gaming, they don't have a whole lot of that yet. There's a lot of subtle mention of what they're intending to do, but they haven't crossed that threshold yet. But the potential is very exciting.
You know, one thing though is like, I don't really want, if I'm playing Call of Duty, you don't have time to really look away from the screen to look down at my tablet.
Yeah, I was
gonna
gonna
mention
say it's
that.
not practical,
So
but it's super
It's not
fun.
like, yeah. It's very, very cool to have all your devices connected. But just like on that note,
Well,
I don't know. I don't know if that's the best idea.
for anyone who caught the South Park the Stick of Truth video,
Very
they Trey Parker and Matt Stone make a great point. Your Xbox is connected to your computer, which is connected to your iPhone, which is connected to your pad, and you're all
your refrigerator.
You're controlling all of this while sitting in your refrigerator. Like, yeah, it's a little ridiculous, but it has some potential. The idea that, yeah, if I had to look at my iPhone for my map on a video game, that would kind of suck. But maybe if I could take if I buy a iPad or whatever, a tablet, if I could take my tablet and play my video games on the tablet that are stored on my Xbox or stored on the cloud, that's pretty rad. That's very, very cool.
No, that's where it's going, dude. I'm telling you.
Well, let's hope so.
But the thing I like least about the show was Usher. I just don't. I mean, honestly, they don't understand. I think Microsoft and Sony understands and Nintendo understands, but I don't think Microsoft understands. Like, this isn't a consumer press event. This is a press event. There's nothing but press there in media, and the media doesn't care about Usher. Like, maybe the 16-year-old girls do, but I mean, they don't. They want to see the technology in the games, you know?
Yeah.
And he came out there and he was like, "Oh, Dance Central 3," and it was like, "What?" And I just fast forward through it. I'm like, "No, stupid, fast forward."
Yeah, I saw him dance. I was literally sitting at work on my lunch break, and I saw Usher, and I went, "Oh, okay, let's see how far he dances." Oh, he dances for a full 8 minutes. Oh, that's ridiculous. Okay, let's continue past that.
And actually, the one thing I think it's funny that none of you guys mentioned was the Black Ops 2, because it's Call of Duty. I mean, what are you gonna?
I don't know that I like the direction they went. They went a little too futuristic. I like the premise, the idea of the story that, we've created a bunch of UAVs, unmanned vehicles and stuff, and that's what we've been using to defend ourselves, and now someone's quote-unquote taken the keys. They've hacked into them. That's a cool idea, but it's a little sci-fi, and that's not really something that Call of Duty's ever done before. It's always maxed out at current technology.
Yeah, they're trying to shake it up. I mean,
yeah, but you know what?
We've murdered World War II, and modern warfare has been going on and on. So the only logical step is to go into the future. I mean, that's kind of what Ghost Recon's been doing. And
well, something I've noticed is everything that I saw at the entire press release was either a brand new product, a brand new franchise, or old franchises not just sitting on their laurels. They're shaking things up. They're trying new things. They're trying to push their products past what they were to something new and frankly something more awesome. So hopefully all these games that we've been seeing, they live up to the hype.
Well, that's the thing.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff to look forward to.
No, there is, but that was the problem. It's like I remember in E3. You guys remember too? In E3, with they would announce huge announcements. They'd be like the Xbox 360. Or they'd be like this new game that no one ever heard of. They're like, there was none of that this year. Like, everything had been announced a week prior. There was no surprises.
Well, yeah, it is. Well, there were a couple, but
you got to remember though,
that no one cares.
We're what, 6 years into the Xbox 360 or something like that? 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Those huge announcements only come usually at the beginning of the console cycle, because all the Fables, the Mass Effects, the Gears of War, all that stuff is in the beginning of the console, and then it's just that wave is ridden all through that console, and then it might spill over into the next console, but then the next console, we have a clean plate, we have a brand new system, whole new hardware, the roof has been
raised.
There's a whole new limit to reach, which allows developers to come up with brand new stuff. So
by the way,
it's difficult to come out with new IP on a 5-6 year old console.
Speaking of Fable, the new Fable Journey, I don't know how to feel about that. I love the Fable series. What do you guys think?
I'm over Fable. After Fable 1, I have Fable 2, never beat it, never really wanted to play it.
Really?
Fable 3, I have no interest. I don't like, they give this false illusion of choice where it's very like it's just black and white. Like you're
Well, of
either a
course
dick
it is.
or you're a saint.
Yeah.
And no matter what, you're gonna get to the same goal. I mean, sure, at the very end, yeah, you can like kill your dog or let your dog live. Like, you know, it's just
Well, it's like all those things
They
that give you
claim
that
for, like-
false sense. Star Wars: The Old Republic and Fable and all that stuff. Like, it was all fun, but yeah, the end game is all the same. Either you have the choice of, you know, it's the Force
it's
that leads
just-
to you fight Vader or you fight the Emperor. Either way,
But see,
it's the same
The
ending.
Force Unleashed 2 didn't promise me an open world experience where I make all the decisions and every decision I make affects the world. That's what Peter Molyneux promised on all of his Fable games. And then when I pop Fable in, I can either punch the kid or I can help him. You know, it's like it's very black and white.
Well, that's-
and it was promised an open world game that's very linear. And it's just that I got let down with Fable, and it never won me back. See, things like
that's your foolish outlook.
What?
You trusted what he said.
Well, yeah, I generally try to, you know, if someone tells me my game's going to be open world, okay, I'm expecting open world, but all I get is a lot of loading zones, you know, a lot of loading zones to different linear areas. I mean, Fable literally had some.
It looks very open, but yeah, it's 100% pathfinding. Like, that's all it is.
It's just I'm not excited about Fable.
Dave, what's our time at, by the way? I haven't been keeping track.
Oh, dude, I didn't even keep track.
Oh,
We're
God.
probably way over
Okay,
time.
we should probably
We're
wrap
like
it
at
up
10
then.
minutes. Let's keep talking about Splinter Cell.
Yeah. Splinter Cell, Splinter Cell, Splinter Cell. Yay, Splinter Cell.
Yay, Splinter Cell.
All right, guys. Well, everyone, thank you for joining us in episode 10 of The Next Level. Make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, and we will catch you guys next week or whenever this goes up when my channel is not being under harassment by YouTube and Google.
Oh, Lord.
And keep playing Splinter Cell.